okay, to go ahead and do so. I personally think that we should be careful how we proceed in these things, okay? But there's a political issue and then there's a substantive issue. The political issue is that the NDC has shown serious insincerity and hypocrisy in this matter by sending a bill to Nanado that they themselves are not willing to send to their president. And that is proof enough, and Nanado is vindicated for not signing it. If they are sincere, if they are not hypocrites, if they want that bill that some George and Co jumped on rooftops to scream and shout about, upon which they won some of the votes in the last election, they should send the same bill to President Mahama. They can't, they won't, they shouldn't, okay, to go ahead and do so. I personally think that we should be careful how we proceed in these things, okay? But there's a political issue and then there's a substantive issue. The political issue is that the NDC has shown serious insincerity and hypocrisy in this matter by sending a bill to Nanado that they themselves are not willing to send to their president. And that is proof enough, and Nanado is vindicated for not signing it. If they are sincere, if they are not hypocrites, if they want that bill that some George and Co jumped on rooftops to scream and shout about, upon which they won some of the votes in the last election, they should send the same bill to President Mahama. They can't, they won't, they shouldn't, okay, to go ahead and do so. I personally think that
Yanaya for him on a kwaba zaba no kwar wiwin chimedi. No kwar wiwin chimedi. Kaida mpenyefo se no kwar yaren. Na kaya kana wanabaka no kwar wiwin yabaka. Former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo hwe Ghana fo hwanenyim ka che Ghana fo dai mama hum ye bo hwe adzefo na mmom hum ye etimamofo sananyi da ozikana ahwe no kwari dwumedi wo Ghana Bad News channel do a ahobrasimara ya toto asre ya nsa da ya nsa yem subscribe to no kwari Ghana Bad News YouTube channel nan mi adom na wono don na titse feel free for wadwenche for to comment section nen o Sunday o wonti na yedi da medwumedi ba wakwem na nyansa onye ba akofo nitirim ebebi sama sam na yareka. Yes, let's expose the all-knowing Kofi Bentil'S hypocrisy about the passage of anti-LGBTQ bill. Let's expose Yabapa Kofi Bentil Nuhu Ntuma. All known Kofi Bentil and Ose Trumutu Embra Oyem Reshebogofo Wakojatum na yare twene day Omampenyin John Dramani Mahama NDC-led government Odanonen. Other sama shase mwaba yambra onkaya today former president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo nya twuminti amrahye go fo wa shambra nenen akada den saba shase nenen wentum wanfa ne san shase. You're welcome to the bitter truth. Truth, they say, is bitter. It must be told. If today is the first time you are watching the bitter truth on the Ghana Bad News YouTube channel, we are humbly pleading with you to kindly subscribe to the Ghana Bad News YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that anytime we upload content, we're having a show, you'll be updated to be part of it. Let's get interactive. Let's hear from you. We said let's expose all-knowing Kofi Bentil'S hypocrisy over the anti-LGBTQ bill passage. What is he talking about? What is all-knowing, too-known Kofi Bentil is saying? That NDC, that is challenging NDC, that shame unto NDC for passing the LGBTQ bill, the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2026 is calling or referring to Kofi Bentil, referring to NDC as hypocrites, that they could not take the same bill to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I want us to listen to him again, then we address him. Let's listen to Kofi Bentil.
Okay, to go ahead and do so. I personally think that we should be careful how we proceed in these things. Okay, but there's a political issue and then there's a substantive issue. The political issue is that the NDC has shown serious insincerity and hypocrisy in this matter by sending a bill to Nanado that they themselves are not willing to send to their president. And that is proof enough, and Nanado is vindicated for not signing it. If they are sincere, if they are not hypocrites, if they want that bill that some George and Co jumped on rooftops to scream and shout about, upon which they won some of the votes in the last election, they should send the same bill to President Mahama. They can't, they won't, they shouldn't.
Now, Kofi Bentil is referring to the majority caucus and in an extension NDC as hypocrites. Really? What is his basis for calling NDC? You're referring to the majority and the NDC as hypocrites. That they couldn't have sent the same bill they demanded that was passed, left to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former president, intentionally, deliberately refused to assent to the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2025 to become law in this country. Kofi Bentil is saying that NDC majority couldn't do that, and that is his basis of referring to them as hypocrites in the first place. Let me remind Kofi Bentil, I say his hypocrisy. If someone ought to be called hypocrite, it's Kofi Bentil and those the disappointed, useless, counterproductive minority. They are to be referred to as hypocrites. Why am I saying, or why bitter do we are saying that Kofi Bentil is hypocrites? One, when this parliament begins, when 9th parliament began, are we not here when the majority leader Ayariga insisted that the bill was passed, but Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo deliberately failed to assent to the bill, and the majority then, who are now minority, Kofi Bentil himself defended Akufo-Addo when Akufo-Addo went and hid behind lawsuit, legal suit. Kofi Bentil supported Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the former president. Ayariga insisted that look, the bill was passed, but Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo failed to assent to it. So let's transmit the bill to John Dramani Mahama to assent. Reckless, ungrateful Kofi Bentil. Can he contest us? Is Kofi Bentil trying to tell us? And you Kofi Bentil catch him in the day. One two or money with day. Mahama Yariga, the majority leader. Brand 9 parliament says no day. They should forward that same bill to John Dramani Mahama to assent to it. What was his position then? What was the position of the minority under the failed minority leader Alexander Kwame Aponyomakin? What was their arguments? Is Kofi Bentil trying to tell us that he didn't hear that they say the 8th parliament has ended, so whatever that happened came to an end, they have to reintroduce the bill? And Kofi Bentil one say, so what is his basis today? NEC, they couldn't forward the same bill to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. If you are calling for a relaying, taking the bill through the same process, so is he not aware that yes, so you introduce building because of the 9th parliament? Yes, we admit that constitutionally 8th parliament came to an end, and whatever that they did in has come to an end. It's null and void. Went to my one setting. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo Anthony Sanchez Mwamba Yambra Nintinin. All the worship Bibias of Fufro. Worship Bibias will lay Fufra. Definitely there will be debates here and there. Into that could result into some minor changes in the bill. Sabi Kofi Bentil na nyanse wenya. the minyan say Miss Wenya. Internet Kofi Bentil and MP before. Upon your mark and bed, you know, hurry a dead day. When 2 man for the same bill now, Koma Mahama, Nyanse being Jimmy Kwa, reckless. Me say, these are the reason why me say, look, the minority leadership for Apanyo is over. Guy know who do, you know the seat top. Apanyo Mike know the see the minority leadership top. The question we are asking when they were calling for reintroduction of the bill to be taken through the same process, the beginning and then, aren't they aware? So don't they think that yes, during the discussion something could change, something could crop up? May say yes, we agree. ABIA, the 8th Parliament came to an end, but nobody can contest us. Mahama Yariga stood on his ground and said, let's forward the same bill to John Dramani Mahama for him to assent to it. If they had done that, John Dramani Mahama would have assented to rate the same it is. So, Kofi Bentil, your hypocrisy. This is the hypocrisy we are talking about. Jimino hypocrisy. Messi, you behave. You see, the media has given you an unfettered platform. In Sabi, you always force your knowledge on society. When you come to speak, you think that hey, you are all knowing. Whatever you are espousing is God, is holy truth, is the gospel truth. The Ghanaian society should take it, and swallow just like that. We will interrogate ye Jimmy Tinun. Me say in some Huna region, say Kanya Chuma, our Kofi Bentil, upon your market, minority for the day one way in your truman. Let the truth be told. Bira ayarega rekade one for the same bill Nkoma Mahama no answer to it. And I'm at what was your position then? Kofi Bentil nyachum. What nyachum Kofi Bentil? What was your position? What are you talking about?
Now this new law has been watered down by taking out all of these things that you have, some of these things that you've spoken about. In effect, it has made nonsense of the whole law.
So it made nonsense that this law is not efficient enough. It's not efficient enough to address this.
Let me tell you what, it does not address the LGBT, containment issue at all. What it only does is gives people an excuse to attack LGBT people or people they believe are aiding or abetting LGBT people. The nature of the law is that, you see, law is about interpretation. Mm-hmm. The nature of this law is that it can be interpreted by the person who hates you, against you, and used against you. So,
Masa, Messi, when you are from Jawin, some hune reading Kofi Bentil. You are from some hune reading Messi. On them that the media has given you unfettered platform. If you have now, if you have now, look, with all-knowing attitude, that posture, all-knowing attitude of Kofi Bentil, the MPP hypocrisy. Messi, Abam Brano on your interpretation. Are you trying to tell us there in Brabia war or we are Zimaha and no woman gun and Muhana and Brabia war person? Is it not going to take people to interpret it? It's every law that has been enacted, that has been passed here, is sacrosanct. Is that what Kofi Bentil want Ghanaian citizens to, rational Ghanaian citizens to believe? The stupidity of his arguments. The infantile argument that he was raising that this law is subject to interpretation. I am asking Kofi Bentil, unknowing Kofi Bentil, that which law in this country, is there any law in this country that has been passed under the earth, under the sun, that is not to interpretation? Is Kofi Bentil telling every law passed in this country is sacrosanct as far as he's talking about interpretation of the law? That the interpretation of the law can be manipulated. Come to think of this childish argument. Messi, who is hypocrite than you, Kofi Bentil? The hypocrisy on your part as far as the human sexual rights and family values bill is concerned. Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo, our former former president, His Excellency Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo, your darling MPP, president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, you make so much noise about failed Ghanaians. It is simplicity. There is nothing that you will tell the people that can convince them. There are rational beings in this country. Religious institutions made noise. Civil societies made noise. If Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had assented to the law, we wouldn't have been here. You would have been, positing this useless argument. This hypocritical argument that you are talking about, that the majority has watered down the bill. Who caused it? Who caused it? If minority has watered down the bill, who caused it? Go and tell Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Call Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo that if he had assented to it, if there has to be amendment, they could have done that. If you look at the issues they are raising, you've not been able to define that. Look, the issues, the minority, the clauses that they've introduced, the amendment that they introduced to the bill, they were at fault. They are irrelevant amendment. You were not able to talk about it. The amendment they have introduced is neither here nor there. You were not able to, put it down. You were not able to counter those amendments. Kofi Bentil, shame unto you. Shame unto you, Kofi Bentil. Messi, you are hypocrite. You are calling the majority hypocrite. Probably you don't understand in this circumstance, in this instance, you don't understand. It has lost on your conscience. What hypocrisy means has lost on your conscience. Kofi Bentil, let truth be told. In this matter, you have not been able to defeat the argument that led to the amendment of the bill. That media rights cannot be trampled upon. That the constitutional rights of the media, the constitutional rights of lawyers, constitutional rights of, the anti-LGBT victims to seek medical attention. Let's say the issues that led to the amendment convince us that they are not legitimate. This is what you should be speaking to. The recklessness, the hypocrisy, your MPP nature hypocrisy in you cannot be hidden. You are shame. You are shame, Kofi Bentil, a disgrace to you.
And I support that they shouldn't. But in doing that, they should even scrap this whole thing altogether. If somebody gives you water and says, drink, Alfred, and then for some reason that person has to drink the same water and they refuse to drink it, then you know it's poison. Okay. So it was wrong in the first place and they knew it. Shame on them. And I
say, Kofi Bentil, shame unto you rather. The hypocrisy, shame unto you rather. Until you are able to shoot down the amendment that the committee introduced to this bill, canvass stronger argument to shoot it down, to convince the discerning citizens of this country to buy your argument. You were disgraced. You see, at certain point in time, learn to hide your MPP nature. Kofi Bentil, learn to hide your MPP nature. Messi, you've not been able to shoot down the argument that they raised that led to the amendment of the bill. What we are talking about is the MPP hypocrisy that you just came to exhibit. You only came to exhibit MPP hypocrisy and it won't fly. It didn't fly. Shame, 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 Kofi Bentil. Remember, the show you are watching is The Bitter Truth. If today is the first time that you are watching this show on Ghana Bad News YouTube, we're humbly pleading with you, kindly subscribe to Ghana Bad News YouTube channel and let's hear from you. Do you support Kofi Bentil arguments? This is The Bitter Truth. Jumedi did na anyi no kwa wi jumedi. Yes, Kofi Bentil nya twem na wo de onumum no ye nya twem. Zonam do man search aba oye dam trumutum brayim yi. Kofi Bentil ntumi fa ma check Ghana for there. Onye no kwa insama njina do wajina do a woyi ye dam insakrem ntumi nkase ntie ntumi nchiem de onya papa onu na de kasa magana fo yeti na wo MPP suna bana wo muntinin bibia ya MPP of MPP who are protect me say Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo shame ogu omani nyimase ogu MPP party nyimase the wentum one sign one funny sign share ɔyɛ the human sexual rights and family values bill na say to bill and anyende na ma begina yedede shame on to you dwumadi ne din ara nye nokɔrewen panyimfo se nokɔr yɛwen ne kaya kana wana baka nokɔrewen yɛbaka yɛda ase da wo data da ahwɛ dwumadi nyame on show subscribe na for wadwenkyerɛ for to comment section no yɛda wase